Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back. It is still Money Monday, even though it is late in the evening, and I am now recording this video. One, because I want to hold myself accountable to all of my financial goals. Two, I really wanted to film this video, even though it may not go up until Tuesday. Who knows? I might make it. We'll see. If you are new here, I'm Christa. I am an artist and small business owner of a public health consulting firm. And on this channel, I talk a lot about money and stationery and planners and stickers and fountain pens, all the things. But on Mondays, I am now talking mostly about money, but still using all of my planners. Right now I am in a Filofax Malden. I will be switching covers soon because if you saw my last video, you know I have a beautiful black veg tan leather Multerm waiting for me to move in. But I'm planning in a Filofax, and we're gonna just look at my money section. Then we're going to talk a little bit about May as I close out my May budget, some of the insights that I've learned, some of the things that I'll be doing differently in June. We'll look at my June budget, and if time allows, we will do a little bit of cash stuffing in some of our savings challenges because I have money here, pennies that I still need to count, so maybe we can do some of that. And I have some cash, not a lot, maybe like $55 that we can put in some of our challenges. So if that sounds good to you, let's buckle up, buttercup. Okay, so let's just, I think I haven't come up with like a format for these monthly money reviews, but let's just review at minimum the goals. These are my goals for the year. I will say that I am actively working on all of these, and I fully believe that I will meet all of these goals. That's all I can say about that. This one is already done. My HSA is already maxed out. My Roth, I will have some money sometime next week, some art money that I can allocate to this, so that will be a chunk of money. This will happen slowly but surely. The bulk of this will get settled around November. Add at least 2.5K to my brokerage. I haven't added any money to my brokerage, but maybe in June, we'll see. I'm working on the emergency fund with all these savings challenges that I'm doing. I'm here posting, making a Money Monday video, and then I have yet to find a lawyer to walk me through this process, but it'll happen. We'll see. We have, let's do some, do I have the stickers with me? Yes, I feel so organized. We can add some stickers to our bingo. So I'm playing this little bingo. I made this myself. Well, I bought the printable on Etsy, and I added in the text that is relevant to me. But I just finished a 14-day no spend. I feel awesome. I promptly bought some things today. I mean, it was gonna happen, but I did purchase something today because, yeah, I wanted to. So there's that. But I did do that. What else did I do? Oh, I did track all my expenses for the month, which is what we're gonna look through. So I felt good about that. I mean, I've gone through all of my expenses for the entire year, and it is illuminating how I spend money, okay? I almost have a bingo. I think I can have a bingo if I did this. I can avoid eating out for a week and I can just quickly pull this. What else? Donate to local charity. I will do that. Anyway, and then I'm gonna buy my celebration gift soon for paying off my student loan debt. Anyway, that's fun. So let's go to our no spin tracker and just update that really quickly. So I did that, got through that, and then that was it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 days. And then I bought something today. So I need to highlight that, but I don't think I have my yellow highlighter with me. I don't. But whatever, that's fine. All right, so let's get into how much money we spent this month. Let's go to my finance binder, which is also a Filofax. It's a Filofax Calypso. And goals. Alright, so let's get to, I'll take this out and put this here. Alright, let's just go over a couple things. One, I wanted to share this with you. Tell me in the comments whether or not you create categories for your budget. So, two things. One, I'm really good at tracking my expenses, but not budgeting. So setting like an amount for the category and sticking to the category. That's something I just realized recently. And I'm trying to correct it in June and going forward. So one of the things I did over the weekend, well, not even over the weekend, I had done this prior, but I added some more things to each of the categories. I created budget categories for myself, and then I added color codes to them that will maintain, that I'll use as I go through these, as I go through the rest of the year, basically. So my categories, I have about 14 of them. And just to give you a sense of what they are, I have housing, and then underneath the housing category, there are two things that make up that category: mortgage and extra mortgage payments. My transportation category has everything like car insurance, car maintenance, car gas, registration, Ubers and Lyfts, parking. Food, groceries and eating out. Utilities is all of the utilities for my house, all the gas for my house, my home alarm, my Wi-Fi, and my cell phone. So this is why I think budget categories are good, because you make them so that they make sense to you and to how you're tracking your money. Some people wouldn't put Wi-Fi and cell phone in utilities. They may put it somewhere else. But I decided that in order for me to get a good sense of how much money I need to be financially independent, I need to keep track of the things that are essential for me now, and then I think will also be essential for me in retirement. So looking at all of these key things as utilities will give me a sense month over month, okay, how much does it cost for me to maintain these things for myself, for my home. And so I encourage you to make budget categories if you haven't, just so that you can see some comparisons over time. It's really important when you're making the budget categories that you keep the things in the categories. So I had to think about this for a little while, because had I just picked somebody else's categories, it wouldn't have made sense for me. So I had to make some categories, use them for a month, and then I made some adjustments. And now I think I'm in a good place with my categories. So I can use these in May, and I'll use them for the rest of the year, and I'll be able to compare apples and apples. So that means every month when I look at the transportation category in May, I can compare it to the transportation category in, say, November. And I know I'm comparing the same things because these are the only things that will go into the transportation category. So I think they're helpful for just understanding patterns and how you're spending money. So as I go through my budget here on the channel every month, I'm just going to be referencing these big categories. I'm not going to like go line by line and tell you, oh, I spent, $57 on lifts. That's not important. What's important is, what does my transportation budget look like month to month, or my transportation spend month to month. Okay, so I have housing, transportation, food, utilities, medical. This is the one that I had to really think about, and I made some changes to it this month. I had health insurance in there. I have copays and my deductibles. I have my therapy payments. I have supplements because I take supplements by recommendation of my doctors. I have my meds. And then I added this new one today because it makes sense for me to put it here. I added my contacts and my contact solution. Now, normally some people will be like, well, that's just a toiletry, or, you can put that in your household category. But for me, because I am like legally blind, contacts are essential to my life. This is not like something I can mess around with. I have to get them on a certain at a certain time, and contact solution. And both of these things are reimbursable to my HSA. Actually, everything in this category is. That's why I put it in here, because it will give me a good sense of how much money I can be reimbursed from my health savings account. Now, supplements are technically not eligible for reimbursement unless you have a doctor's note. And I only buy the supplements that, not only, but some of the supplements I buy, I do have a doctor prescription for, like vitamin D and L-theanine are two, and iron are two that I buy, that my doctor has told me to buy. So anyway, sometimes your categories will have things in them that just make sense for you. And this makes sense for me to put here instead of putting contacts in toiletries or in health and beauty, for example. So then I have health and beauty, and like here in health and beauty, I put exercise equipment, but I am not putting exercise clothes in this category, just the equipment. Clothes will go into shopping. So that's just what I've thought about. That's what makes sense for my brain. You have to do what's best for you, but I think this is a good exercise to think about. How would you want to group these things? So giving is tithes, charity, and friends. So my giving to friends is different from my giving to family. Now, I could have just put family and friends in one category, but I decided not to, because I really want to pay attention to how I am financially supporting my family. That's a specific thing. That's important because I want to keep tabs on that, and also figure out other ways that I can be helpful financially to my family. So I just have that as a separate category, and I have friends over here. Fun and hobbies. This list may grow, but currently this is what I spend my money on. Oh, you know what I don't have? Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this, you guys. And I think the reason why I don't have this is because of the way that my travel happens. So I don't have a travel category. And I think that's because I tend to make sure that my travel is related to either public health business or art business. And sometimes I will do personal travel. So I probably need to make a travel category. So let me just write it down before I forget. But I don't have any travel expenses for May, but I'm thinking that I probably need to have a travel category. I can't believe I didn't have one. I travel a lot. I would give up stationery for travel. And I love stationery. But if I had to stop buying stationery so I could travel, I'm going to pick travel. I'm just going to pick it. Subscriptions, pet care. The only thing I did differently going into June is that I decided to get a subscription for my dog for his food. Just because, one, it'll save me time from going to the dog's pet store and getting it. Two, when I go to the pet store, I get a giant bag, 33 pounds of food. And I'm always like, is this food good by the time we get down to the bottom of this big old bag? And I had some concerns. So now I'm getting a smaller bag, but just getting it every month. So we're trying that out for June. We'll see. But that's my dog. And then we have household. Household, I have home maintenance, extermination, HVAC, lawn care, toiletries, and housekeeping. And then miscellaneous is just, oops, something happened. And then I'll add travel for June. Okay, so those are my budget categories. And now I'm going to show you what happened for May. And then we can talk it out. Oh, another thing I wanted to show you. I'll just show you what it looks like, how I do my expenses. I'm not gonna go through them. So the way that I do my expenses is I just made an expense tracker. I'm gonna have some printables soon because it'll just be easier for me. But anyway, this is what I drew out. I have the date, I have the transaction, I have the amount, and I initially had a category here, but I'm not using it. And I make my expense trackers, and I make one for each of the places where money comes out of. So Amex is what I pay for things with, and then my debit card. So those, and then cash. So I make separate ones for each of those areas just because it'll be easier to keep track of what's happening. So like when I log into my Amex, I can just sit there and like write out all the transactions at one time instead of me going to the Amex, doing 1 through whatever, and then getting to 30 and then going to my debit and then starting at 5-1 all over again. I don't want to do that. So I think this way is cleaner. So these are my transactions. I've color coded everything, and you can see I've color coded everything. Couple things. And I have 14 categories. I'll probably have 15 now that I have to add travel. But what I realized when looking at my debit is that I have certain things coming out of my debit that I should just be putting on my Amex because I don't really want anything coming out of my bank account. Actually, I'll show you. Okay, because this will make sense so you can just see how my money kind of flows. So this is how my money flows. I have my primary checking. Actually, let me show you this later. Let me finish my thought here. So when I looked at this, I said, okay, there's certain bills here that I can just add to my Amex so that I don't have to have these random things coming out of my debit account. So that, you know, I have eating out coming out over here, and I have it coming over here. I have subscriptions here, and I have subscriptions here. It's like, get everything to one place. And that, for me, that's my American Express. So when did I do this? Over the weekend, I had my Geico car insurance. I added that to my American Express. For June, I added my utility bill to my American Express. I've added Gas South to my American Express. I'm having trouble changing the Wi-Fi. It's just, anyway, I have to call them. That's the only one that I haven't changed. I've changed Netflix. And then, of course, I don't have any more student loans, so we don't have to worry about that. And then, so all of the bills that are currently here for June, they're going to be on this side. So I will have less things to worry about on this side. But everything is color coded. I was going to buy a bunch of new highlighters so I can have like a fresh pack of highlighters for my budgeting. And I'm so happy I was on a no spend because I didn't buy it. And I said, I have highlighters. I just got to go round them up and just find colors that I can use for color coding. So that's what I did. I went through everything I had, and these are all of the markers that I will be using. They're different types. I got some Bic, I got some mild liners, I got some Tombos. I'm just basically using what I have, and it's more than enough. So, and then I put all of my colors in one pouch so that they don't get used for anything else, because I have other highlighters in my planner pouch. But this is it for finance planning. And then also I have, oh, that doesn't go in there. I have a pencil in here, and I have, come on. I have my handy, I can't get it. I have a ruler. So that's what I keep in here. So now I don't have to worry about, am I going to find the colors? Am I going to be able to do this every month? Yes. If I keep it in here, I'll be able to color code every month. So that's what I did. Now, for the review, let's go over the amount. I rewrote it over here in the summaries. So, and you can see my color code if you want to see. I mean, they're not my fave colors, all of them, but this is what I got. I'm going to use what I have. It works. Okay, and actually, let's highlight as we go through the summary. All right, let's go to the summary. So this is the summary for May. I'm just going to do this. This is the summary for May. Let's do this for the income. And let's do this. No, not for the budget. So I got paid 2 paychecks in May. Of course, we got a 3rd paycheck recently, but I'll tell you later what I'm going to use that paycheck for. I didn't use it for any of my May budgets. So I got paid for my job, my public health company that pays me a salary, W-2 salary. This is after taxes, $6,688 over the course of 2 paychecks. And I also get benefits from my company. This benefits amount covers my monthly health insurance premium and my weekly therapy. So I guess the total for that, let's just add that up, 6688 and 1169. So that's 7,857 for my monthly compensation. So that's the number. Once we add up all the budget categories, I need to subtract it from that number. So for housing, I spent my mortgage and insurance and all that jazz is $1,747 a month. I have to refer back to my color code. Food is, I spent $761 on groceries and eating out. I know what the subs color is because this is so ugly. Orange. I spent $59 on subscriptions. Family is this color. I spent $450 on family. Most of that was my grandson, Panda. I bought him some clothes while I was in New York, and then mani-pedis with my daughter for Mother's Day. Health and beauty. You know health and beauty has to be pink. Health and beauty was, I wonder why that was so much. You know what? I don't have to wonder. I can just go back and scan the pink. Oh, I bought some skincare. I bought some nail stuff, more skincare. Oh, you know what? I spent like $48 buying some retinol for my body. And what else did I spend? Grooming. Oh, I got my hair done. That's what it was. I got my hair trimmed and flat ironed. So That's why that number is high. It shouldn't be that high for June because I don't have to go get my hair trimmed. I do that every other month. Medical is this blue color. And medical, again, it's only as high as it is because of what's in my budget category. So my health insurance premium by itself is $567. And therapy was like $800. So that's why that number is really high, because it includes therapy and health insurance. I'm really, really so blessed to only have transportation be $99, right? Because that's wild. I do not have a car note. I have a brand new car that I pay cash for. I don't have a car note. So that $99 was basically gas. It was actually gas and something else. It was gas twice. So I got gas about $31. And then I got gas here, $33, but then it was my car insurance. Wait, did I not put car insurance in there? Oh man, I missed that one. Look at me patting myself on the back, and I did not add in the gas properly. So let's fix that. So this is actually $99 plus $192, and I just round to the nearest dollar. $192, so $291. Still not bad, but still not $99. So scratch that. Household. This was high because household. Where's household? Household is that pink, purple color. This was high mainly because of I put $200 in a sinking fund for my lawn guy, and I bought all the stuff for the garden. So that's why that was high. Shopping was high, but it was because I bought some clothes when I was in New York for my wardrobe. Fun and hobbies is always going to be yellow. All I did was buy a Nintendo game and a couple stationery things, but I was on a stationery no buy, so it was just stuff I bought in the beginning of the month. Utilities is already what I said. What color is utilities? I'm gonna make a little card with the color code on. And pet care was pretty high this month because what color is my pet? Supposed to be this color. Okay, yeah. Pet care was high because I boarded my dog and it was $400. I went to New York for business and it was $400. And sadly, that is an expense that I can't write off to my business because nobody cares about four-legged animals, even though we take care of them like they are our kids. So I have to, when I travel, I have to pay his pet sitter $40 a day. So that was that. And then miscellaneous really isn't miscellaneous. This was my student loan payment for the month of May. I am going to call them to see if they're going to reimburse me because I paid off my student loan and I thought they told me that they wasn't going to debit me. So they may give me this money back. So I just put it in miscellaneous for now. And then let's do the total of all of my expenses for the month of May. $1,747. Okay, so I don't know where the camera cut off, but I totaled up all of this, all these budget categories, and I got $481, and my income for the month was $7,857, and that left this negative $624. Now, the reason why my actual physical account did not say negative 624, is because I wasn't doing zero-based budgeting. Zero-based budgeting is when you take all of your income minus your expenses and it equals zero. Basically, you assign every dollar a job in whatever time period you're using, whether that's weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. Because I wasn't doing that, every month, January, there was a little leftover money that flowed into February, but I did not zero out my budget. I just left the money in the account, and then that money flowed over to March, and then some flowed over to April, and some flowed over to May. So by the time I got to May, I had overflow that I hadn't accounted for in my budget. So it caught this $624. Now, I don't want to do that in June. This is why I'm like so excited about actually budgeting going forward, because I want to make sure that I have given every dollar a job, and then I zero out my budget and my account before the next paycheck, so that if there's anything left over after paycheck 1, I take that money out, I put it in my towards my savings goals. And then I wait for the next paycheck to come in, and then now we start all over. So thankfully, I do have enough money in my budget. Like, this is more than enough to cover my expenses, provided I stay on budget and I don't do random things. Now, I decided to like spend all this money on household stuff because I'm looking at my account and I'm like, oh, I have the money in there, it's fine. And that's not how I should be operating. I shouldn't be just saying, oh, there's money in my account, let me go spend it. No, I should be budgeting it out at the beginning of the month and sticking to that budget. So that was May. I've learned some things. One, I'm going to stick to these budget categories. I'm going to give each of these budget categories a budget so I don't go over. So for example, food is supposed to be $650, and I spent $761. I will not be doing that in June, right? Family, I didn't have a budget for family. I clearly need to make a budget for family because I didn't have a budget for that. Health and beauty, this was over budget. It's supposed to be like $200 or something. So that's the benefit of like tracking your expenses and making these budget categories. You can kind of see, okay, what is going on here, and then make plans. So I decided based on this number that, oh, I should probably have a sinking funds for 2026. And I have, if you saw my last video, I don't know if I told you about it but yeah, I will have a sinking funds. Oh no, did I make it? I think I made it. It's supposed to be $1,200. Yeah, home maintenance. I made this sinking funds. It's a home maintenance one, and it's $1,000. But this is for 2026 because I know that in this amount, this $1,138, I had garden stuff in here that I didn't budget for. But I'll budget for it in here. Also, in this amount, I went to Home Goods and TJ Maxx and I bought some new dish towels, some new natural scrubbing pads because I'm trying not to I bought Swedish dishcloths because I don't buy paper towels anymore. But I said, oh, that stuff is going to have to be replaced. So let me go ahead and set up a sinking funds for next year so that I can make sure come springtime, part of spring cleaning is replacing tea towels and doing all that business. So this whole budgeting and like actually looking at your budget and then making decisions is so key to not finding yourself in a negative jam, right? So we can compare what I did in May to what's going to happen in June next month. So hopefully next month I'll be able to look at these things side by side, May and June, to see if I made any improvements in the categories, right? And as far as my budget for June, or just for any month, it should look like this, right? This is what my budget should be. And what I'll do later is I'm gonna make the budget categories, I'm gonna make a budget for each of those categories. Like housing is gonna be like $1747 plus 400, $2147. Why? Because I know I have this intention of adding an extra $400 a month to my mortgage. Well, if that's the budget and I only make the regular mortgage payment, that's okay. As long as I don't go, well, in this case, going over is actually a good thing. Let's pick something else. Food is $550. $550 for groceries, $100 for eating out, so $650. So next month, I better be under $650. In fact, I'm gonna make it a goal to be under $600, so I can take those savings and put it in my savings, for example. What else? Pet care won't be that high. And that's why I set up a pet sinking fund, because I know I'm going to be traveling again, and I want to at least have some cash on hand so I can pay the groomer and not have to be hit with a $400 boarding fee just because I want to go out of town. So anyway, I am all over this budgeting and it's not going to be perfect and it's not going to be tidy, and that's okay. And you can start at any time of the month. Like I did, I started in the middle of May. So I knew things were going to be like crazy. So I didn't try to make any adjustments. I just went about doing what I had done January, February, March, April, just to see. But now that I see what the patterns are, I'm like, and when I say I went through all of my expenses, let me show you. I went through all of my expenses. This is January. This is February. This is March. Like, so this was so illuminating. So I encourage you to make some budget categories and I encourage you to set some budgets for those categories so that you can start to see the patterns in your spending and start to figure out creative ways to save money on a particular category in that month so that you can add that savings to your savings or investments, because that's what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So I think that is it for May. And I'm heading to the bank. Oh, that was one other thing. I am heading to the bank in the morning to get some cash. I did a little bit of cash planning. I think I did a little bit of cash planning. Yeah, I did a little bit of cash planning. I actually have this overflow for May of $788 in my account. So that's on top of the negative $624 from May. I still had this overflow. So I have that. I already allocated my third paycheck, because it's a magic month. But that money is going, I took some money out of my third May paycheck to cover my July mortgage, because I want to be 1 month ahead. And then I took the rest and put it aside for medical bills that I know I'm going to have in June. I have a lot of medical bills for June, and I've already paid some medical bills out of this. I paid like, I want to say about $800 in medical bills today. So that check, I'm so grateful we got, because it went mostly to medical bills, but this is what's left over. So I am going to cash stuff with $612. So when I go to the bank, I am going to get $1,400 tomorrow to do some cash stuffing. And I'm also going to, I don't know if I'm going to turn in my coins, but I may turn in my coins that I have here. we'll see. But anyway, so I did that. I can't wait to go to the bank tomorrow. I have to go to the doctor and pay them $433, but I also get to go to the bank, and I'm so grateful that there'll be something for me to bring out. But I do have some cash. When I said things aren't perfect with this whole new sort of thing that I'm trying to do, here's a perfect example. I had every intention of taking cash when I went and got threaded and or actually waxed the other day, but I ended up not taking this envelope because it wasn't in my wallet. So I have to still figure that out. And so what I did was, when did I go? I went Friday. So Friday was the 30th, and I paid $45 plus $10 tip. And all of that came, I put the 45 on my Amex, and then the tip was Cash App, so that came out of my debit account. So that was $55, and so that means the balance is $45. Now I can leave this cash in there, but I'm not. I'm gonna just count it as savings. So I'm gonna take out $45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 25, 30, 40. Let's count that again. 10, 30, 40. Okay, 40. 45. Is that right? No, this is 40. I can't count, guys. Y'all gonna let me be out here not counting, right? Okay, we have 40 left. So I'm gonna leave 40 in here. But because I already paid that 55 from my accounts, I'm gonna count that as savings that I don't have to go to the bank to retrieve. And I'm gonna cash stuff this. So let's count it. 10, 20, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Oops. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 50, 55. So that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna save our money. Oh, let me put this back. So to rectify not having the cash in my wallet, I am going to figure that out. I have to figure that out. I may have to put a little envelope in my actual wallet. I may have to switch wallets for a little while. I mean, I don't know. I have to figure out a way to have cash on me. And you know I use a little mini 5. So I'm like, I know there's a way for me to keep my cash in there. I just have to think creatively what I can make to put in that wallet so I can have cash with me. So anyway, let's figure a savings challenge that we can do. And I think the one that we should do is this one. So today is what? Today is the 2nd. So we can do 1, 2 for the 2nd. And where's that envelope? Oh, good news. I have found my laminator. So I can actually make some envelopes. So now we have 3 in there. I can make some envelopes for some cash envelopes that are laminated. So we have $3 in this one. So that was good. And then let's do This is the other challenge that we're doing, the 100 envelopes. So let's pull some envelopes and see what we can save today. A little cash envelopes box. And I'm just going to, I have these in order, so, oh, we went straight to 32. Okay. Do we have enough? Let's see. 10, 20, 25, 30, 31, 32. So we have 10, 20, 25, 30, 31, 32. All right, $32. Have that. And we have us some washi tape. Good old Coffee Monsters Co. And that is saved. And then let's see what we have. We have 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We have 21. So let's pull another envelope and see where we land. Oh, we have 18. So 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. I don't know about you, but I am an out of sight, out of mind type of person. So this money goes into this box. I don't even know it's here. All right, so we have that one. Okay, we only have $3 left. So let's just get a head start on tomorrow for this one, since it's perfect. And let's just cross off tomorrow. So we have 1, 2, 3. And we will put that in our, what is it? Right here. Put that in here. 30 days. At the end of 30 days, I should have $1,000. Okay, so we have 6. All right. That was exhilarating. Let's color in our little challenge. It's here. So we did 18. Okay, I don't want to grab that one. We did 18. 32. 32, and then we did 18. Okay. And we just take these two and we pop them in the back here. So if you saw my last video, you know that I have already stuffed quite a few. So I've already stuffed all of these. This is so exciting. I love these little envelopes. And then that's it. So that is it for the month of May. I'm feeling good going into June, knowing that I will be making a budget, or I've already made my budget, but I will be sticking to the categories and sticking to the budgeted amount in the categories. And come back later this week and we will have a cash stuffing of the money that I'm going to take out of the bank tomorrow. And yeah, this is the end of Money Monday. And I just thank you so much for joining me. I'll show you this next week. This is basically how all the accounts that I use to manage my money. So I'll do that next week, and we'll just talk about how to organize our money, or some ways that we can organize our money, and I'll tell you how I have my money organized. But until then, thank you so much for joining. Definitely let me know whether or not you have budget categories, whether you stick to them in the comments. If you have any other tips that might be helpful for me or anybody else who might be checking out the comments, definitely share. And of course, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I am an open book in this season of my life when it comes to my money. And yeah, I'm just so excited to be in my wealth building era. So thanks for joining me. I will catch you in the next Money Monday. Bye.